most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
Happy Friday, people. Welcome back. Merry belated Christmas to you, since we did not have a 4:30 stream yesterday. Hopefully you had a wonderful holiday yesterday with your family and friends, ate some good food, filled yourself up with some cookies and milk, perhaps, got all the presents you wanted. Hopefully Santa did not disappoint. Welcome in. I'm meteorologist Ross Mumal. I know personally for myself, I am super grateful that today is Friday. I've been here all week, so it has felt like a very long week. Maybe it has felt short for you, but for me, it has felt very, very long. So I'm excited to get to the end of tonight and into the weekend. What a great weekend do we have on tap here across the First Coast. Looking more like summer than it is winter here. And that's kind of been the name of the game over the past couple of days. Certainly so for your Christmas yesterday and continuing here today. Lots of sunshine. I mean, really not even a cloud in the sky out there over the River City. Currently 79 degrees. Most folks are in the upper 70s, getting a little flirty and flirtatious or so with that 80-degree mark. You got 78 in Mayport and St. Augustine, 79 Gainesville, Keystone Heights, Orange Park, 77 from St. Simon's Island to Brunswick to Waycross. I mean, all of us are rather warm out there this afternoon. Across the rest of the country, it's kind of a telltale sign of who is seeing a warm, dry weather and who is not. The southeast, most of the southern, kind of south central part of the country. So we're talking Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas. You can see there, Little Rock 78, Dallas 86 degrees. Anthony Austin's actually flying back from Dallas right now. I'm sure he's working up a little bit of a sweat walking through the airport. That is certainly a balmy. Wow, 86. Elsewhere, further off to the West Coast has been kind of just dealing with this atmospheric river. So they've had a lot of cloud cover, off and on rain, and even some flooding for some portions of California. Those folks have temperatures upper 40s Portland, 50s San Fran, low 60s LA. And then up across the Northeast, that's kind of the area I want to focus in on. Coldest temperatures up there right now, but also probably the worst conditions, so to speak. They have winter storm watches and warnings and winter weather advisories in place. They are unfortunately dealing kind of with that sticky and slippery rain-snow line, what we call the 540 line, where on either side of it, you're either getting slow. If you're right smack dab in the middle, you're kind of getting a mix of sleet and freezing rain and snow at times. And then on the back side of it, some rain. So Pittsburgh seeing rain up across kind of central Pennsylvania and into southwestern New York, so over toward Buffalo, kind of a mix of snow and rain, some sleet perhaps mixed in there as well, and then just straight snow, New York City up towards Syracuse, Watertown, New York as well. So I do think I've got a live look out of State College, Pennsylvania, my old stomping grounds, of course, right where the home of the Nittany Lions and Penn State is. So smack dab in the center of Pennsylvania. This is the live camera from there. Now, there's a reason I showed you this. Obviously, I know it looks really crappy. You can't even see anything. That is because the rain and stuff that has fallen has frozen on the camera screen. So freezing rain currently, occurring or falling there in State College, Pennsylvania, meaning the rain is coming down, it's hitting the surface, and then freezing on contact. So yeah, certainly some treacherous driving conditions for folks up across the Northeast. Thankfully, here on the First Coast, we don't have to worry about anything like that. Abundant sunshine out there for your Friday afternoon and evening. Overnight temperatures tonight into your Saturday morning, certainly staying on that mild side. I mean, mid-50s might be a stretch. A lot of folks are only going to cool off into the upper 50s and even lower 60s, especially if you live pretty close to the St. Johns River. So we're going to be about 12 to 15 degrees warmer than average by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. So a fairly mild start. Also going to be a little bit foggier. I know we've talked about patchy fog the last couple of days. And, there has been some, spots, but really tomorrow you're going to start to notice that increase in the low level moisture content and the overall humidity. And because the temperatures have been so warm, humidity is on the rise, that temperature and dew point don't have to get too close together to start to create some fog. Winds are also relatively calm. So if you have have an early morning trip somewhere, you're traveling back home tomorrow morning, or anything you got going on, even out to coffee and breakfast, be mindful there will be some tricky travel spots out there with some of that patchy fog, lowering those visibilities, at least initially tomorrow morning. So I do expect any areas that do develop fog to last until about 8 to 8:30. Beyond that, the air will have warmed up enough that the air itself and the the temperatures have warmed up enough that the air begins to mix, essentially, and that kind of breaks up and clears out the fog. So a muggy, mild start to the morning. Temperatures by the afternoon, we're talking mid to upper 70s yet again. You'll notice there as well a little bit more of an increase in cloud cover, not only with the fog in the morning, but even into the afternoon and evening hours. Going to have this very, very weak northwest flow, not only at the surface, but aloft in the atmosphere. And that'll just kind of stream in some clouds from the west and northwest. So they were showing a few spots of green. We're not expecting any rain tomorrow. That's really just the models trying to depict the small increase in humidity and moisture at the surface. So don't be too concerned about, is it going to rain for your Saturday? No, really just kind of a warm day out there. We have a high of 79 degrees for Jacksonville. If you're heading out to the beach, pretty similar story and setup to what we've seen here over the past couple of days. Rather warm temperatures right along the beach and on the sand. They're going to be in the mid 70s. So another pretty warm day for your Saturday. If you're heading out to Everbank Stadium tomorrow night, TaxSlayer Gator Bowl kicking off at 7:30. You got Virginia and the Mizzou Tigers. Really not all that terrible. I guess it is football weather, but for this time of the year, certainly isn't what you would expect to be football weather. But kickoff temperatures pretty much right around 70 and only cooling off into the mid 60s by the second half tomorrow night. So honestly, a light jacket or like a light quarter zip pullover, you're good. That's pretty much all you're going to need out there. It really won't be all that cold, especially since you're pretty close to the St. Johns River down here in downtown. But it should be a good matchup and some good weather for the Cavaliers and the Tigers over at Everbank tomorrow night. Through the rest of the weekend, nothing really changing. Sunday's a pretty similar story. Unseasonably warm, temperatures upper 70s, close to 80. We'll watch for some patchy fog in the morning yet again. So it's kind of just a rinse and repeat forecast every single day here, or what has seemed or felt like that, at least over the past few days. And that will continue through the end of the weekend. But you'll note really no big rain chances there. And we haven't had any rain this past week, right? Which has been nice. A lot of folks are off. You're spending time with your friends and your family. You got people maybe coming in from out of town. You've been able to enjoy the sunny, warm weather, go to the beach, go shopping, whatever you've wanted or needed to do. Unfortunately, moderate to severe drought conditions that are really draped across most of the First Coast, but especially inland southeastern Georgia, so across the Okefenokee and the Suwannee Valley. Those drought conditions are just continuing to worsen and to deteriorate even further here with the lack of rain. I believe so far up to this point in the month, we've picked up just over 2 inches of rain, but we really don't have a whole lot more in store, through the last 6 days of 2025 here. So, we desperately do need the rain, especially for inland areas. Monday will bring us our next best chance of rain and pretty much our only chance of rain over the next 7 days. And even that's not going to be a huge opportunity. Only a 30% rain chance or rain coverage. Now, I will say best area to perhaps see some rain will be across southeastern Georgia. But before that rain arrives, it is going to more than likely be the warmest and windiest day here across the First Coast that we've had over the past week or so. Temperatures expected to be in the low 80s on Monday. Winds out of the southwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour. And this is what we often call compressional heating. So a cold front will be approaching from the north and northwest. As that front approaches, it almost creates this like pressurized squeeze right over the First Coast. So you increase the pressure. That often will increase the wind speeds. It increases the air temperature a little bit as well. So warm and windy on Monday. We'll track that chance for some rain in the afternoon and evening. And I do believe I have a future cast looking ahead to that here coming up. But first, let's take a quick break. I need the break. I didn't do this yesterday. So 10 minutes in, I'm already gassed, folks. So let me go. Let me freshen up a little bit, get a towel. wipe the brow. We'll come back. We'll talk about the rest of the forecast. Welcome back, folks. We're going to take a quick reprieve from the forecast because I got a great present in the mail today. Well, not really in the mail, technically. I am, as I've mentioned before, from central Pennsylvania. I grew up hunting and fishing, and I went home hunting for Thanksgiving. Didn't get anything, but my father, he filled both his buck tag and his doe tag, so he got 2 deer this winter, and it's just him and my mom. So that's a lot of meat to go around. So he was kind and gracious enough to send a nice big styrofoam cooler of assorted deer meat down to me. He had a friend deliver it to me this morning at my apartment. And I just heard from our director back there on the ones and twos, Marlo, that he doesn't know how to cook deer meat. And there's really no major difference between cooking deer meat and cooking beef. All right. It's a little bit leaner. Now I will add, not for all folks, but sometimes deer meat can give you the toots. I will just say that. We'll just say that now. But I am very much looking forward to that. Might be the best Christmas present I got here this year. So hopefully you also got a great Christmas present. If you didn't, try to be optimistic maybe about the weather, the beautiful weather we have. That in itself can be a Christmas present, I think, to all of us here. Because it could be 50 degrees and cold and rainy and snowing. And thankfully it's not. Now, although it won't be, snowing per se anytime soon here, we do have 50-degree weather returning back to the First Coast. So let's talk about it a little bit. I talked, it's going to be warm Monday. We have that cold front approaching, and that'll bring a few showers. That system itself is stemming from right here. So pretty much right off the coast of Northern California in San Francisco. You can almost kind of see that swirl in the infrared satellite imagery. I just put the streamlines on it, or the arrows, to kind of show you what I'm talking about. But this is the origin source of the energy and the storm system itself that is going to bring us this major polar blast by early next week. So if you got lulled into a false sense of, summer has returned, this is what the rest of the winter is going to look like. Wrong-o. Winter is returning pretty fast and hard by early next week. So that low pressure system through tonight is going to stay right along the California coast. over the weekend, it's pretty much going to jump over the northern Rockies or the central Rockies, thanks to a pretty strong upper-level jet stream, and pretty much kick itself up over the Great Lakes and the Mid-Atlantic. So the bulk of the energy itself with regards to rain and or snow is going to be across the Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast. So they're going to have to deal with really the worst of the weather with regards to precipitation. Here on the First Coast, here comes that front. Some showers primarily for your Monday afternoon and evening. It's not going to bring a whole lot of rain, perhaps 1/10 of an inch at most for many of us, or for most of us who happen to see rain. But the colder air surging in behind it is really going to be the bigger story. Here's another way to look at it. You see those bright, pinks and, white and gray colors? That is the truly, Arctic air that actually originates kind of from the other side of the world in Siberia, comes down over northern Canada, across the northern plains, and then sweeps its way to our corner of the world here on the First Coast. So Monday afternoon, air temperature is going to be in the 80s. Thanks to the strong southwest winds. Remember, I mentioned about 10 to 20 mile per hour winds out of the southwest on Monday. It might make things feel a few degrees cooler. So let's say mid to upper 70s real field temperatures on Monday. No matter how you see it, it's going to feel warm, right? Okay, well, you go to bed, you wake up Tuesday morning, you're thinking, okay, it's going to be another warm day. I'm going to put some shorts and a t-shirt on. No, you are not. Absolutely not. You're going to have to put on the winter coat, the beanie, the gloves. We're going from a real feel of, let's say, 80 down to a real feel of 30 in about the span of 12 to 16 hours. So temperatures themselves, air temperatures on Tuesday morning will not be this cold. They will be right around 40, but with a fairly stiff northwest breeze, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wind chills Tuesday morning going to be in the upper 20s and lower 30s. By the afternoon, actual air temperatures will be in the mid-50s, but similarly, because of that northwest breeze, our wind chills will pretty much be in the upper 40s and lower 50s through most of Tuesday. So, a very warm start to your work week next week, but Tuesday will certainly be on the chilly side. It may actually feel even colder because we really haven't had that cold of air in place here now for about a week. So just kind of prepare yourself for that, especially if you're heading out to the Jonas Brothers concert Tuesday night at Daly's Place. I know our sports anchor and sports reporter, Rachel Phillips, she is planning on getting some tickets to that concert, 8 p.m. show. I think the Joe Bros, they might be a little bit chilly. I don't even know if, some love bug will warm them up out there. Concert temperatures starting off in the upper 40s, cooling off into the low 40s. And remember, this is not an indoor event. Daly's Place is one of those, opened arenas. Now, it is covered, so folks don't have to worry about any rain, and it's not going to be raining, but it is going to be rather cold out there. So I expect a lot of sweatshirts and jackets out at Daly's Place Tuesday night for when the Jonas Brothers come to town. Actually, the final concert in Daly's Place for more than likely the next 2 years as it closes for renovations for the Stadium of the Future. So, if you haven't gotten tickets, head over to Daly's Place, head out to the Jonas Brothers concert Tuesday night. Now, the colder air continues to just sweep its way in more so and more as we head through Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. So we have issued a weather impact alert for Wednesday morning because air temperatures will be below freezing or near freezing at the very least. Remember, I had mentioned Tuesday morning, air temperature is going to be right around 40. We're going to be anywhere from about 8 to 10 degrees cooler than that come Wednesday morning. So at or below freezing air temperatures with wind chills in the 20s Wednesday morning. So you're going to need to bundle up, trying to limit the amount of skin exposure that you have to the elements out there. And there's a look at it. So next Wednesday is your New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve morning, low temperatures along and west of Highway 301. We're talking mid to upper 20s. So from Valdosta over to McClenny and Sanderson and Baker County, up to Folkston, Nahunta, Waycross, it is going to be very cold. Similar story in Brunswick. The winds won't be terrible, but there will be just enough of a breeze to just, make things feel even more frigid out there. For Jacksonville, we're going low 30s. I think it really will depend on where you're at around Duval County. With regards to an actual freeze, but I do expect a frost advisory to be issued for really most folks. So this will include the beaches. Typically, or at least so far this season, the beaches have not gotten in on the frost advisories or any of the freeze watches or warnings. Mayport, Jacks Beach, Ponte Vedra, St. Augustine, I do expect a frost advisory to be issued for you folks. So any tropical plants that you do have outside next Wednesday morning, or really it should be next Tuesday night, you do want to bring those in, as we are expecting, frosty temperatures kind of within that 32 to 36 degree range. That's when you can start to see some frost develop. So a cold New Year's Eve morning. How will New Year's Eve night look as you're getting ready to ring in the new year? Stay tuned. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about it here in just a few. Welcome back in, folks. So we talked a lot about the warm weekend, and of course that big cold front arrives Monday night into Tuesday morning. Our temperatures really just drop out, bottom out there by Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning even more so. But your New Year's Eve night won't be as chilly. Now, it will be cold out there, don't get me wrong. 6 p.m., so around dinner time, if you're heading out with your friends or whoever to start the celebration and the party festivities a little early, temperature's going to be in the mid to low 60s or 50s, by about 5 to 6 p.m. Then after sunset and as the night wears on and the party gets going, temperatures will continue to cool off. We're talking mid 40s. So any fireworks displays, if you're coming to the one downtown or really anywhere here across the First Coast, or if just you yourself are setting off fireworks in your backyard, hopefully do it safely. Don't lose any fingers, but if you're doing it, also have the coat. It is going to be cold. Temperatures in the 40s there, but clear skies, so no rain, no snow flurries or anything like that in the forecast for your New Year's Eve night. So here's kind of another way to look at it. I try to break it down in sections. So if you kind of just zoned out with what I was talking about over the last, let's say, 8 minutes, here's a snapshot in time. So Monday night or Monday afternoon, it's going to be warm, windy. We'll watch for a few showers as that front moves toward us. By the time you wake up Tuesday morning, temperatures near 40 degrees, but wind chills will be in the 30s. Tuesday afternoon, we are dry, so mostly sunny skies, but it's going to be breezy. Winds out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour, as our afternoon highs will remain stuck in the 50s. And then Wednesday morning, we will have that weather impact alert in place. Temperatures at or below freezing for many of us around Jacksonville, and especially west and north of the Jacksonville area, with those wind chills in the 20s and the 30s for nearly all of us Wednesday morning. So cold Wednesday morning, chilly Wednesday afternoon. Well, what about New Year's Day? Your January 1st, looking pretty good. Upper 30s there to start you off in the morning, but I would imagine a lot of folks are probably sleeping off a little bit of some champagne from the night before. So by the time you wake up, maybe around noon, temperatures will have already warmed up to near 50 degrees, if not into the mid 50s, with afternoon high temperatures in the low 60s there for your New Year's Day next Thursday. So here is a final look at your 7-day forecast. Great beach days here over the weekend. If you haven't had a chance to head out to the beach, I would certainly do so, considering winter is going to return there by Tuesday and Wednesday. So dry skies Saturday and Sunday, highs upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Similar story on Monday. Major changes will really just be it'll be windier. We'll have those rain chances as the front arrives. And then afternoon highs in the